Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you some really cute miniature DIYs that are perfect for a tier tray or any little small spot where you want to add a little bit of fun and decor. So they are all St. Patrick's Day themed, and everything I use can be found at the Dollar Tree, so it's super affordable and very quick and easy. And I have some really pretty free printables for you guys today, so I'm always excited when I get to include those. But before we get started, if you guys are new here, I would love to have you join us by subscribing down below and make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. For this first DIY, I'm going to be starting off with these wood frames that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and then I'm also going to be using this free printable that I created for you guys that you can find on my blog. So I will leave the link for this down below in the description box, so you can just head on over there and print this out completely for free. And I have to say that this is probably my most favorite free printable that I've ever made for you guys. I just think that the pictures turned out so cute. I just love all four of them. So I'm just going to be using two today, but I honestly do not have a favorite, and it does not get easier for this. So these are already sized perfectly to fit into those frames. So you just have to cut them out and then just pop them in, and that is it. This DIY is very fast. And you guys know that I love to frame my stuff in front of the glass, that way there is no glare, and it kind of just gives the appearance of an art print, but you can definitely frame it behind the glass if you like. So this is how they turned out, and like I said, this DIY is so fast and easy, and honestly it looks really beautiful. For only $1, you cannot beat it. For this next DIY, I'm starting off with these little terracotta pots that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and these can be found in their gardening department. So I'm just going to be using one today, but you could use both if you want to make two. And I just need to paint it black, so I figured the easiest way was just to spray paint it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today with this semi-gloss spray paint, but you can definitely paint it by hand with some acrylic paints that you can pick up at Dollar Tree, but this was just faster. So I just gave it a quick coat, and here it is when it was all dry. And now we're ready to move on to our next step. So I also picked up this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I really love it. I think it's just so unique looking. I love those little areas where you can see right through it, and I just used it to make a little bow around the top of my pot there, and now I'm just trimming off those edges. And for our next step, we just need to fill the inside of the pot with something just to kind of bulk it up. So you can definitely use tissue paper for this. I had some extra polyfill on hand, so that's what I'm using. You can even use a paper towel, just anything to fill up the center. And then next I'm going to be filling it with these gold coins that are also from Dollar Tree, of course. So I'm just going to be sprinkling them all around the top just to make a little pot of gold. You could also use the chocolate gold coins to fill up these little pots, and this would make an awesome gift for somebody, maybe a grandchild or just any child. I think that they would really get a kick out of it. Just their own little mini pot of gold with some yummy chocolate coins. Next up, I'm going to be using these mini glass containers that I picked up in the Crafter Square section of the Dollar Tree. They come 6 in a pack. And then I'm also going to be using this glitter from the Dollar Tree, but I'm just going to need the green glitter and the gold glitter today. And then I'll also be using some green ribbon, but you can use any color ribbon for this, or just some yarn or even twine. I will also be using this free printable, so this is another one that can be found on my blog, and again I will leave that link for you down below, and you can just head on over there and print it out completely for free. So the first thing I'm going to do is just remove 3 of those little glass containers. I'm just going to use 3 today. And I'm just going to take the caps off, and I'm going to be filling them with glitter. So I made a little paper funnel here just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go ahead with my gold one first and just fill it about halfway up. And then you're going to see my next one I'm going to fill up with green. And then the third one I'm going to mix the two and just kind of do a combination one because I thought that looked really cute. And now I'm just going to be cutting out my tags. So I'm going to be doing one of each. So one with the leprechaun magic, one of the leprechaun wishes, and then one leprechaun luck. And I'm using these fun scissors here just to kind of give it a really cool edge. And then once I had them cut out, I just took a hole punch and just gave it a little punch right there. And then I'm going to be looping it through my ribbon and then just tying it around my little glass bottles with a bow. These are really cute to give out to kids for St. Patrick's Day. They just get a kick out of it, and they can sprinkle a little leprechaun magic on their friends or just on anything really. And I'm actually going to be giving these to my students this year for our Shamrock Day celebration. I think that they will just have a lot of fun with it. Next up, I'm going to be using this glass mug that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be painting the inside of it to make it look like it has coffee inside. So to achieve this, I'm just going to take some white acrylic paint and I'm mixing it with some dark brown acrylic paint just to kind of get that coffee color. But you'll see here it wasn't looking exactly right, so I did take some lighter brown to mix it in, and once I got the right color so it would look like coffee, I just painted the entire center of my coffee mug. Here is my mug when it was all painted and dried, and now we are ready to move on to the next step. So I just took my mug and I put it on a piece of cardstock paper and I just traced around it. I will say though that this was not the best choice. I would definitely recommend using cardboard for this or something a little bit thicker than cardstock paper because it ended up being just not the best. But you just want to cut out a circle and you want to make sure that that circle will fit over the top of your mug and will not fall through. So once you just made sure that it will fit properly, you can take some of these tennis balls. So these are from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to be using 4 for this. So I'm going to be gluing 3 in the center, kind of like in a pyramid shape. So this is just going to bulk up our faux whipped cream topper so we don't have to use as much spackle, and it's just a nice base for it to hold on to. So you'll see here, this is how I hot glued my balls. And now I'm just going to be taking 2 of Dollar Tree's lightweight spackle, and you want to make sure it's the lightweight version or else it's just going to take forever to dry and it might be a little bit too thick. So I took one of my containers and I'm just dumping it out into a solo cup, but you can just use any disposable cup for this, and I'm also using a disposable spoon. So you just want to take out all of the contents of one of the containers and you need to thin it out or else it's not going to pipe correctly. So to thin it out, I'm using some white paint, and then I also decided to add a little bit of green since this is for St. Patrick's Day, and I'm just going to mix those together just to help really thin out that consistency, and I will also just be fluffing it up a little bit with my spoon as I go along. Really is all about getting it to be a good balance, because if it's too wet, it's just not going to pipe out properly either, but you don't want it like cement because that's just going to be no fun to work with. So once it kind of looks like whipped cream, you should be good to go. So now I'm just going to take this little plastic piping tip that I picked up at the Dollar Tree in their cake decorating kit, and I just put it in a Ziploc bag where I cut the tip off and inserted it through. And now I'm going to be dumping all of my green spackling into that bag. And then you'll see next, I just went ahead and I repeated those same exact steps with my other box of light spackling, and then I'm also going to be putting that into my piping bag when it's all mixed up. Then you can just push it towards the bottom and just start to pipe. So I like to start off by just going around the outer circle first and just kind of like building my way up. And you want to take your time with this. Don't worry, it's okay if it doesn't look perfect. It just kind of looks like whipped cream, which isn't perfect anyway, so it's fine. Have fun with it. And then I just went ahead and I filled in those little bare areas just to make it easier for when I was getting up to the top. And you'll see I just kind of went in a circle until I got all the way to the top, and then I just did a little dollop. If you have any bare areas, you can just go ahead and pipe those in to fill it in. And while it's still wet, I took some cinnamon and I just sprinkled it on top so it would stick to it. And then I also picked up these Lucky Charms at the Dollar Tree. They come in this nice little small pack. And I just took out some of the marshmallows and I'm gonna put those all around my little latte here. I just thought it looked really cute, but I will say I put mine in when my spackling was still wet because I just thought it would be easy to push them into it. But the thing is with these marshmallows is once they touch the wet spackling, they basically rehydrate and they become mushy again. So if you want to do the marshmallows, I would definitely say wait until your spackling is dry and then just hot glue them. That way they stay nice and hard and they do not get mushy on you like they did on me. And that is it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed these miniature DIYs. I just think that they are so cute, and I did want to mention those little gnomes and mushrooms that you see on my tier tray here can be found at the Dollar Tree. They're only $1 each, and you can find them in their gardening department, and I just think that they're so cute. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful St. Patrick's Day, and I will see you back here very soon.